Hey everyone, my name is Megan and welcome to my lesson plan demo. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Martian habitat, and don't think that this is about the planet Mars' habitat. We're looking at the story of the Martian. A lot of you might have seen the movie with Matt Damon or read the book. If you've read the book, good for you. It's pretty difficult. I should know, I've taught it twice to some ninth graders. This will be my third year at my school. But a little bit about me first, just so that you can understand why this project might look a little elementary. Um, I teach STEAM ELA, which means that I work with a science teacher to infuse ELA into science and vice versa. So when I first found out that I got this job and they told me what I was teaching, I immediately got with the science teacher and was like, what can we read? Because I don't think that Romeo and Juliet could really fit with biology that well. So I really wanted to find something good that would allow our students to think critically. And so far, out of my 2 years teaching this has been my students' favorite unit. So the Martian was the story that we decided on. And if you want to teach that, I just want to give you a quick PSA. Do not purchase just the Martian by Andy Weir. That book is got way too much cursing, profanity in it for like me to be comfortable to teach. So I would recommend that you guys check out the Martian Classroom Edition. We were lucky enough to find this and order these. It's the same book. It just has all the profanity taken out of it so that it's a comfortable teach and not, dancing around words you don't want to say in the classroom. So I would recommend that. But let me go back for a second. In my folder, I have 3 files. I have my lesson plan, my rubric, and my Martian habitat demo. So the first thing we're going to look at today is my lesson plan. So if you guys go to that, you will see that I have objectives listed first, lesson activities, and then assessment. So in my objectives, the main goals from this short little project, for me, is that I'm going to be checking for understanding, for comprehension of what they read so far, and then I want them to be able to use textual evidence to support their claims. So what I do is I ask them to make the map, and on the map they have certain buildings that they have to identify and place. In the story, it's sort of explicitly told where these buildings are located, where he parks the rover, how far away the solar panels are. And, solar panels also have to be placed in a certain direction. If not, they won't get their amount of light they need. So this gets very, technical, especially when bringing the science in. But I'm just showing you guys the English side of this project. Now, the science teacher, he has his own set of requirements that he also wants on this. Mine is just everything that you can find in the book. Anything that has textual evidence, it's there. I also asked them to get a little creative because some stuff is in there, but it's just not listed. So, moving on. The first thing I do is when we first start this, I ask the students, to tell me what they know about citing evidence. And by this point in the year, they should know a little bit. By this point in their career, their academic career, they should know about textual evidence. But what we're going to do is cite textual evidence in text. So their map is sort of their primary product, and then we have a reflection that serves as their secondary product. And this is where they will be practicing their citing textual evidence in text, and then using a bibliography. And another thing that I like to do that some teachers don't is I really like them to practice writing their MLA citation from the book. They will be writing a paper at the end of this unit. I asked them if they are going, are they for going to Mars or against? And it's a position paper. And they do a lot of research. The science teacher helps me with that. And he's just, all around great. He really likes this unit as well. But what we do is use those MLA formats. And then what I like them to do is open up their computer, go to Google Draw, and create a new draw. In that, I will show them, and I'll go back to my folder. We'll go here to the Martian habitat. I will show them my Martian habitat demo. Now, this is just a little thing I threw together. It's very basic, but, if I can do it in 10 minutes, I think they can do it in the whole class period. So basically, I just used shapes and lines and callouts. That's really all it was. And I did insert a picture of the Martian landscape. It's just a satellite photo of Mars. It could be the moon. I'm not even sure right now. So, I just put that back there for, a little bit of interest. But the students could put orange or red or brown, whatever color they want as their background. But I asked them to create like a bird's eye view little area blueprint of how their hab is set up. Now, the first thing my students are going to do is they're going to go to Google, they're going to look up the Martian movie, and they're going to sort of go through these to find, here's the interior of the hab. So they sort of know that there's going to be like a circular building. Here's a picture of the hab from the outside. This doesn't give us, exact placement. This is just from the movie. So, and I also know that some of the things from the movie are different than in the book. So if they're just looking at these photos to make their demo, I know that. So going back to the demo, as you can see, I have 6 callouts which show 6 areas. Now, if you will go back to the lesson plan, I only have 5 that I've required. The main hab or potato farm greenhouse, the living quarters for Mark, the rover, which plays an important part in the story, solar panels, and waste containment area. So if we go back to my demo, I have those things, but I also have one extra. And this is an example of what the science teacher might require. This is the water supply treatment area. You're going to have water on Mars because all the water on Mars is frozen and deep within the surface. So, the students really have to take that into consideration. Even how far away Mark parks the rover. These are just some of the things that they have to think about. Then, once they're done with their little map, I want them to be as creative as they can. But once they're done with their little map, I ask them to write me a little reflection that justifies why they put something where. And I will ask them to place in-text citations and page numbers of where they got their information about where they labeled things on the map. Then, if you scroll down a little bit, I come to my assessment. Now, if you go back to my folder, I have my rubric here. And in my rubric, it's just a simple rubric. I have, it's from 3 to 0. If the students do nothing, it's a 0. I'm sorry. But I only have 3 criteria that I'm grading on. So the first one is the student blueprint or the map. To get 3 whole points, you're going to have to include all 5 required elements, and they're going to have to put them in the correct place. And sort of as a grade as they lose some. 3 to 4, they don't have all 5, but they have some. I'll put it there. If they only have 1 or 2, I'll give them a 1. And then reflection. The student's reflection includes justification and textual evidence for all 5 required elements. If they only put 4 pieces of textual evidence, I'm not going to count that. And then I also include a little bit about demonstrating understandings. I think that a student could, place everything correctly, but then write a reflection that makes no sense, and that will show me that they have no grasp on the story. And then the last thing that I'll look at is creativity and neatness. I will give some of my students the opportunity to do this on paper, but that really has to be my artsy kids because the others just take advantage of that, and it's easy. This sort of thing doesn't get lost behind my desk or doesn't get thrown away on accident. It's in Google, so it saves it forever. So this is pretty much your easy way to do it. Let me go back to my rubric. So if a student gets all 3s, they'll get 9 points, and that's a 100. And this isn't a heavily weighted project. in my unit because this happens at the first 3 or 4 chapters. And then we have a big essay that's my, big accumulating thing at the end. So I try not to make it super hard. The science teacher does take this in his classroom, and he works with them with this as well. So it's fun working with another teacher to take little projects and turn them into big fun activities. The kids really like this. They think it's fun to just play with shapes and make something simple, and it really just shows me if they're understanding what's going on. So I hope you guys liked it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.